Good morning. Welcome to Arlington Street Church, gathered in love and service for justice and peace. We are Unitarian Universalists. Ours is a historic faith with a progressive theology grounded in love, a love which calls us to see the holy in each and every being and to take compassionate action in our world. In this space, we gather with open minds, open hearts, and open hands to practice acceptance, forgiveness, and growth. We welcome people of all nations, all creeds, all ages, all genders, all cultures, and all kinds of love. Whether you're here for the first time, come every week, or drop by once in a while, we welcome all of who you are and all you are becoming. You are welcome here.
Good morning. I'm Patrick Cooleybeck, this morning's worship coordinator. Reverend Priest and I are joined by Mark David Buckles, Hyunju Jung, and the Arlington Street Choir in leading worship today. We couldn't do this without our tech team, greeters, ushers, and coffee hour hosts. Thank you, friends. If you're new to Arlington Street, welcome. We're so glad you're here and would love to stay connected. I hope you'll visit our website at arlingtonstreet.org and sign up for our weekly e-newsletter. If you're in the sanctuary, please fill out the pew card and put it in the basket during the offering time to let us know how to be in touch with you. On the last pages of the order of service, you'll find information on upcoming Arlington Street events. There's a lot going on both in person and on Zoom, and we'd love to see you sometime this week. Please join us next week, Sunday, December 14th at 2 p.m. for our community carol sing, and the following Sunday, December 21st, after the service for a community potluck. Our Christmas Eve services this year will be at 5 p.m. and 7 p.m., and we warmly invite you to bring friends and family to join us for a very special evening of music, story, and of course, candlelight. Hopefully you all received an email or two this week letting you know about our end-of-year appeal to support Arlington Street. A generous matching gift from Jeffrey Thompson and David Gennaro means any donation you make to Arlington Street will have double the impact to keep this beautiful building, our essential programs, and our witness of peace and justice alive at this critical time. To make your gift, go to the link in the order of service and choose year-end appeal from the menu, or put it in the subject line of your check mailed to the office. Thanks in advance for keeping our mission and programs of Arlington Street thriving. If you came this morning with a joy or a concern in your heart, you are invited to light a candle at home and share in the chat, or come up and light a silent candle at the table to the right of the Gleason podium at any time during the service. I hope all of you in the in-person congregation will plan to join us in the Honeywell Chapel right through the leather door up front after the service. Those of you on Zoom are invited to stay on for remote fellowship as well. And now Michael is going to turn the camera on our in-person congregation as we wave and smile at each other, as well as at our friends in the Zoom room. And you all in the Zoom room can wave and smile back. Hello, friends. Let's all engage that Arlington Street spirit of welcome that transcends physical distance as we greet one another, heart to heart. Whether you've been coming here for years or today is your first time at Arlington Street, welcome home. Please join now in saying the Affirmation and Covenant of this beloved spiritual community. The words are printed in your order of service and in the chat. Love is the spirit of this congregation, and service is our gift. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to speak our truths in love, and to help one another.
Sings and sings.
We light a second candle on our Advent wreath this morning representing peace. In 2005, one of America's finest poets, Dr. Maya Angelou, wrote a poem for the White House Christmas tree lighting. We share with you her poem, Amazing Peace, a Christmas poem. Thunder rumbles in the mountain passes, and lightning rattles the eaves of our houses. Floodwaters await us in our avenues. Snow falls upon snow, to avalanche over unprotected villages. The sky slips low and gray and threatening. We question ourselves. What have we done to so affront nature? We worry, God. Are you there? Are you there really? Does the covenant you made with us still hold? Into this climate of fear and apprehension, Christmas enters, streaming lights of joy, ringing bells of hope, and singing carols of forgiveness high up in the bright air. The world is encouraged to come away from rancor, come the way of friendship. It is the glad season. Thunder ebbs to silence and lightning sleeps quietly in the corner. Floodwaters recede into memory. Snow becomes a yielding cushion to aid us as we make our way to higher ground. Hope is born again in the faces of children. It rides on the shoulders of our aged as they walk into their sunsets. Hope spreads around the earth, brightening all things, even hate which crouches breeding in dark corridors. In our joy, we think we hear a whisper. At first it is too soft, then only half heard. We listen carefully as it gathers strength. We hear a sweetness. The word is peace. It is loud now. It is louder than the explosion of bombs. We tremble at the sound. We're thrilled by its presence. It is not what we have hungered for. Peace. Not just the absence of war, but true peace. A harmony of spirit, a comfort of courtesies, security for our beloveds and their beloveds. We clap hands and welcome the peace of Christmas. We beckon this good season to wait a while with us. We, Baptist and Buddhist, Methodist and Muslim, say, come, peace. Come and fill us and our world with your majesty. We, the Jew and the Jainist, the Catholic and the Confucian, implore you, stay a while with us so that we may learn by your shimmering light how to look beyond complexion and see community. It is Christmas time, a halting of hate time. On this platform of peace, we can create a language to translate ourselves and to each other. At this holy instant, we celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ into the great religions of the world. We jubilate the precious advent of trust. We shout with glorious tongues the coming of hope. All the earth's tribes loosen their voices to celebrate the promise of peace. We, angels and mortals, believers and non-believers, look heavenward and speak the word aloud. Peace. We look at our world and speak the word aloud. Peace. We look at each other, then into ourselves, and say without shyness or apology or hesitation, peace, my sibling. Peace, my friend. Peace, my soul. Peace.
Our opening hymn to beckon in this season of peace is Deck the Hall. I invite you to rise in body, rise in spirit. And we sing this specifically because our halls have been decked by our own Elf Hefe and his faithful companions. And we are so grateful for all of their work and for the work of making merry that we hope to keep alive among us all year round.
La
In this season of Advent, we meet the hopeful expectation of new life with the reality that it is not yet here. And so we wait, and in the waiting, we pay a different kind of attention. Our reading this morning has changed from what's in your order of service. It's now a poem called Everything Here is Ephemeral by Barbara Crooker. Today, a cardinal poured out of the woods, redder than arterial blood. When my husband died, I got cards saying the slash of scarlet is a loved one returning. But I know it's just a bird, and he isn't coming back. The January sky has softened, a hint of early spring. Every item in the news is dire, so I turn it off. Try to remember that nothing lasts, that the iciest winter bleeds into spring, spring into summer, etc., etc., until we alter the climate so much that everything burns. Please let me be wrong about this. Let every red bird find its drab olive mate. Let them build twiggy nests, fill them with speckled eggs, and let those nestlings flap their unsteady wings, disappear in the hedgerow, and lift into the sky. Here ends the reading. Amazing. What will they do next? This is the question. A flash of bright red catches my eye against the drab brown of the woods where I've taken my pup for a walk in the freezing temperatures. The freezing temperatures that make me wish for a blanket of snow just to take the edge off the dreariness. Now, I've only just passed that threshold into the stage of life where birds truly become interesting. Internet memes tell me this is a thing, that somehow in midlife, even those who never previously took much notice find birds to have become the most fascinating creatures they've ever seen. So now, well north of 50, I can say, I'm there. So one day you hear some bird song and it's just a bit of background noise, and then pretty soon you need to know exactly who that was singing unseen in the backyard. You don't have to have reached a certain age, though, to know that the flash of red is a cardinal, one of two songbirds I previously could have confidently named on sight, the other one being the blue jay. When European colonizers arrived in North America, they were fascinated by this dramatic bird, unlike any they had ever seen before, and they called it, aptly, redbird, as do many indigenous peoples still, until they came across another redbird, the scarlet tanager, and they had to rethink. According to legend, the red of this bird reminded them of the color of the robes of the cardinals of the Catholic Church, the senior priests you know from the movie last year, who are advisors to the Pope and also choose the Pope. So the red bird was distinguished from other red birds as the cardinal. Now, outfitted with such a lofty name and a flashy beak and plumage, the cardinal became a beloved symbol, especially for those of us in the US in northern climes. Unlike many of their cousins, cardinals don't migrate. They stay put for the winter. Maybe they know that the snow is a striking stage where they can be the star of the show, especially when so many lesser players have gone south. Somewhere along the way, too, we humans decided that cardinals, the bird, had spiritual lessons to offer, quite separate from any church. A few years ago, I was visiting my Aunt Miriam, who was well past the age of noticing birds and fully into tracking each and every one in her various bird feeders. She was telling me about the latest ornithological tomfoolery above her front porch, when suddenly she spotted a cardinal sitting on a nearby fence. She got a little teary for a second, and I asked why. When cardinals appear, angels are near, she said. Miriam has known some cruel losses in her life, and this day, the cardinal gave her a flash of the presence of her daughter and grandson who died tragically and far too young in a car accident more than 20 years before. After a pause for a solemn hug, we continued our visit, talking about her neighbors and what was up with various family members. But that moment, its palpable connection for her, the cardinal, her loved ones, our loved ones, stayed with me. I hadn't heard that expression, when a cardinal is near, an angel appears. Didn't know about that connection with cardinals. And once I did, I discovered that many, many people were already in on this cardinal afterlife connection. Where had I been? If this is the first you're hearing of it, welcome aboard. It's a fun thing to suddenly know. What has been most interesting to me, is that this connection with cardinals is something my most unsupernaturally inclined friends and acquaintances seem to believe in. If you ask out of the context of seeing a cardinal, if these folks believe in the afterlife, they would say, absolutely not. Okay, how about angels? What are you even talking about, they would say. But ask who was visiting them when they saw that cardinal over there, and they would have an answer in a heartbeat. I'm not all the way there yet myself, but it does make sense to me that this bright flash of color that can be spotted all year round invites us to a different kind of attention. The very kind of attention that makes us stop in our tracks and tap into something far beyond our conscious awareness. In this season, so many of us feel the very real ache of the absence of loved ones. The ache that also testifies to a connection that's unbroken. The sacred thread of love that doesn't go away even as our bodies, our memories, and our days fade. It's a poignant season amidst all the merriment and the hubbub. The word Advent comes from the Latin for coming, but the Latin is a translation of the Greek word parousia, whose meaning is actually a little bit different. Parousia is personal presence. In early Christianity, a sense of personal presence could be understood as the arrival in a person of a special presence, a holiness of their being. The emerging theology that made Jesus the Christ, the Messiah, and later God himself made parousia refer to that second coming of Jesus, but the original word had a broader definition and application to that presence of the sacred in each and every person. So we have Advent calendars with pieces of chocolate or jars of jam or little figurines to mark the time between here and Christmas, our candles in worship, countdowns of the remaining shopping days, as if a day was actually what we're waiting for. But what we're really preparing for in this season is a peace that doesn't come in a certain hour or a certain day at all. It's the peace of that sacred presence in and with each and every one of us. As Maya Angelou so aptly describes it, not just the absence of war, but true peace, a harmony of spirit, a comfort of courtesies, security for our beloveds and their beloveds. We clap hands and we welcome the peace of Christmas. We beckon the good season to wait a while with us. We, Baptist and Buddhist, Methodist and Muslim, say, come, peace. Come and fill us and our world with your majesty. We, the Jew and the Jainist, the Catholic and the Confucian, implore you to stay a while with us, so we may learn by your shimmering light how to look beyond complexion and see community. So my friends, embossed on a linen card somewhere between eternity and now, each of our names is spelled in the finest calligraphy, an invitation to peace. It beckons us to look inside for the seed of that sacred presence, whose roots at their depth connect us with each other. That is what the cardinal calls us to attend. The message is love. The pathway is peace. It connects us with all beings across space and time, but especially those we love, those who have loved us. Does it seem possible, given all this strife in the world, all the pressures we juggle, all the uncertainties and the atrocities that keep us anxious? My friends, it is the season of impossible things coming to birth. Peace is not escape from the demands or expectations of life. It's an embrace of life that finds sacred meaning right in the midst of it all. It's the pause while cleaning the kitchen to reflect on the joy of the meal that was just shared. It's the cuddle time with a loved one after a long day or weeks apart. It's Christmas carols sung loudly and off-key in the car or in the shower or in the sanctuary. That never happens with our choir. It's the memories and presence of loved ones lost that remind us of who we are by holding us in that love that never, ever ends. It's remembering to honor the holy right here with us, wherever here might be. As our nights get longer, we mark off the weeks and light candles for hope, peace, joy, and love. We wait for their presence with us, but it's not a passive waiting. We wait with a sense of attending, paying attention to the ways they are within us already. Not waiting like the doctor's office where you scroll through your smartphone or flip through a People magazine until your name is called. It's an intentional offering of full presence with what's happening within us and around us. We can have ourselves distracted by the sense of urgency and busyness and noise in this season, or we can let it be a source of connection. The invitation is to ask ourselves in each moment, where is love? Where is truth? Where is light? Where is hope? Jan Richardson offers us this poem, A Blessing to Begin Advent. It's difficult to see it from here, I know, but trust me when I say this blessing is inscribed on the horizon, is written in that far point you can hardly see, is etched into the landscape whose contours you cannot know from here. All you know is that it calls you, draws you, pulls you toward what you have perceived only in pieces, in fragments that came to you in dreaming or in prayer. I cannot account for how, as you draw near, the blessing embedded on that horizon begins to blossom upon the soles of your feet, shimmers in your two hands. It is one of the mysteries of the road, how the blessing that you have traveled toward, waited for, ached for, suddenly appears as if it had been with you all this time, as if it simply needed to know how far you were willing to walk to find the lines that were traced upon you before the day that you were born. The blessing, the peace of this season has been written upon each of us since before we were born. It is ours to tune into that holy spark and let it connect us. It lets us see the attempts at love behind someone's abrasive exterior. It helps us bear witness to the truth on all sides of a conflict and build new truth in healing. It holds out the hope of new life in a world transformed by mercy, by justice, by faith. That sacred presence doesn't arrive on Christmas Day. The fact is that it has never left us. It helps us to hold on for all that is not yet by being right here. So let us let ourselves not get wrapped up in the presence at the expense of deeper presence. If we had enough cups of tea in quiet houses for people around the globe, we may just find a way to welcome the holy spark that makes peace possible. You may find yourself gritting your teeth through the holidays with a heart that feels like the Grinch's, 2 sizes too small. And a quiet house and a cup of tea may not be in the cards for you anytime soon. Or you may find yourself in giddy anticipation of Christmas that sends you into a joyful frenzy that's indeed the holy spark in you. You might vacillate between those things or find yourself somewhere in the middle. Wherever you are, let's make it a practice to pause in the midst of it, offer our full attention to where hope might be stirring in our world, or truth, or love, or light. Feel the stirring of those seeds opening, those lines written deep within you, the blossoms coming up from the soles of your feet and out from your shimmering hands. The blessing embedded on the horizon is ours to hold, ours to see, and ours to live if we will listen. Let us listen so that we might be moved to do the next right thing in service of justice, of compassion, of beauty. Amen.
Open my heart to be a sanctuary,
It is now time for our treasured ritual of sharing community candles of sorrow and joy. In addition to sharing our sorrows and joys this morning, let's reach out to one another in the week ahead, staying connected. May these times remind us of how very precious our beloved community is. We need one another. Whether together or apart, may we stay very close. Let's join now in singing Sanctuary. The words are printed in your order of service and in the chat.
We come today with joys and sorrows, celebrations and regrets, often woven finely together. However you have come, we are here to soothe and to rejoice with you.
A candle of sorrow from Wendy Ellerton. John and I are sad to share that longtime church member elder Dorothy Batiste has moved on to the spirit world. Dorothy and her husband John were two of Arlington Street Church's longest standing members and were kind, generous, and loving members of our community. The two met while they were both earning Bachelor of Science degrees at Tuskegee University in Alabama in the mid-1950s. After graduating, they were married and ultimately relocated to Boston, where Dorothy pursued a career in nursing. She and John shared 62 years of marriage together before his passing in 2021. Peace to their spirits. A candle of sorrow from Colton Hewley. My uncle Eric Donaldson died on November 18th after an unexpected, rapidly progressing illness. His life was a masterclass in seeking out and cherishing connection. Throughout his life, he had more occasion than most to know how cruel people could be. And yet he never turned away from the chance to meet someone new, and he was quick to cling to anything they might have in common. A candle of sorrow from Liberty McClade for my beloved cat Merlin, who crossed the Rainbow Bridge last week. A final candle of sorrow, a candle of beloved memory for my grandma, Mrs. Ann Rose Ziska, born December 2nd, 1911. There's a lot going on right now, Mama. I wish you were here because you always knew just the right thing to say. I miss you still and love you always. Happy birthday, Mama. Love, your Cheryl. I got to mark, sir. A candle of joy from Jairo Gamez. In this time of wintry chaos, I am proud to say I have submitted my official candidacy forms to graduate with my Master's in Library and Information next August. I'm so happy to give myself this holiday gift so I can push through the last of my finals this semester. Our final candle this morning is a candle of joy from Kevin Terrell for the birth of my great-nephew Dominic on November 30th. Congratulations to my niece Adriana and her husband Dan on this joyous occasion, an early Christmas gift for the whole family.
For all the sorrows and all the joys we hold in our hearts, we light a silent candle to remember and to rejoice. In the deep quiet of this hour, we breathe together the celebration of the gifts of our lives, the company of friends and family who help us mark celebrations and carry us through loss, the privilege of enjoying nature, music, art, the simple pleasure of meals shared and time and talents to offer in service to others. As we feel the pressure to move fast, may we have the courage to take some things slow, to remind ourselves of the inner light we carry that mirrors the light in our neighbors. May we and all beings be cradled in soothing comfort when we are most afraid. Help us help each other make that space and time of heart and mind, to be for one another the holy voice that says, "Do not rush. You are a precious part of the universe. You deserve the time to flourish and grow." As we hold open the space for each other, may we learn how to do so for ourselves, remembering we have the power to change ourselves and to make change in the world. Let us ground ourselves in ageless wisdom, make space in our hearts and minds for the compassion that weaves our fates together and helps us stand up for one another, for what is right, especially when it's inconvenient. May we be reminded that we are always on somebody's mind, that the other side is right here where hearts and spirits are drawn together. May we be bothered into action for justice and settled in the confidence of the worth of the struggle, knowing we have what is needed before it is asked of us. Amen.
Arlington Street is entirely self-sustaining. It's up to us. Generosity is a key spiritual practice here, and it shows. Thank you for your commitment to our staff, our building, and our beloved spiritual community. Each Sunday, we share our collection plate with a partner in our mission of love, service, justice, and peace. This month's Share the Plate partner is the Bethel Tabernacle Pentecostal Church's annual holiday party. Arlington Street supports Bethel's neighborhood party by supplying gloves and gift cards for parents and family members who bring their children to the party. Please take a moment now and join me in giving to sustain our beloved Arlington Street and Bethel's annual holiday party. You can give online at arlingtonstreet.org or find instructions in the order of service for giving via QR code, Venmo, or text message. You can also mail a check to the church or use the envelopes in the pews, which can be given to the ushers as they come through momentarily with collection plates. Thank you for your generosity.
I saw the sign or an omen on the branches in the morning. It was right after I lost a friend. Cardinal, are you bringing me a message from the other side? Cardinal, are you telling me I'm on somebody's mind? Don't leave me behind. I took a walk in the city to clear my head for a moment, turned my collar to the wind on the street. It was blowing, and there he was above my head. Cardinal, are you bringing me a message from the other side? Cardinal, are you telling me I'm on somebody's mind? Don't leave me behind. Are you just watching and waiting for spring? Do you have some kind of magic to bring? Pretty boy, are you just watching and waiting for spring? Do you have some kind of magic to bring? Pretty boy, are you just watching and waiting for spring? Do you have some kind of magic? Cardinal, are you bringing me a message from the other side? Cardinal, are you telling me I'm on somebody's mind? Cardinal, are you bringing me a message from the other side? Cardinal, are you telling me I'm on somebody's mind? Are you bringing me a message from the other side? Cardinal.
Shay Brown, Beck Sayre, Yenju Jung, Sam LaGrego, and our musical director, Mr. Entertainment himself, Mark David Buckles. Thank you. I've just been notified that our service today has won the first annual Dunkin' Donuts JP Licks Peace Prize. If FIFA can do it, why can't we get part of the action? I guess that means we could all get ice cream later or something. Our final hymn today is number 226, People Look East. The words to sing along can be found in the order of service, in the chat, and in the gray hymnal. Let's rise now in body, rise in spirit, and let's sing together the 226, People Look East.
People
My friends, we begin our benediction as ever by inviting the Zoomers to put your hands at the sides of your squares and those in the sanctuary to send forth that love from within you out to your neighbor on your left and right and all around in widening circles to span this hurting world, and to feel the power of that love returning from the hands around you and the hands all around the world, coming right back as you bring your hands to heart center. My friends, love is the spirit of this church, and love is deep within you, nestled deep in your bones. Hold it close, carry it. Let that presence of the deepest holiness guide you forth through this busy time to find joy, hope, peace, faith, and love. Let us keep this faith and pass it on. The service begins when the service ends. Amen.
We are located at the corner of Arlington and Boylston Streets, across from the Public Garden in Boston, Massachusetts. Arlington Street Church, gathered in love and service for justice and peace.